Welcome to the Friday Night Campfire Stories. My name is Rob and I will be your host for this evening. So every single week we try to keep our weeks as creepy and scary as possible. This will be no different of a video. Before we get started though, I do want to say we are on the road to 50 subscribers. By the end of January, we're hoping. We're getting towards the end of the month, so hopefully we're able to get there. It would mean a lot to me if you were able to head down to the comment section, just click that subscribe button. It takes nothing but a second. It's absolutely free. Help me out a lot. But anyway, that's all for that for now, so let's go ahead and get back into the video. Every Monday you join us as we explore the eerie events, mysterious legends, and the spine-tingling stories that may explain why these places are so haunted. From ghostly apparitions to unsettling whispers of the past, the series uncovers the truth behind the legends and the spirits that might still linger. Get ready to step into the shadows and uncover the secrets of the most haunted places on Earth. This is my series, Echoes of the Past. Welcome to Echoes of the Past, where we delve into the history of some of the most haunted locations. Within these walls, where the air feels heavier and the shadows stretch longer, lies a place where history and horror intertwine. Built to heal the broken, but instead became a prison of torment, a sanctuary for madness and suffering. For over a century, the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum bore witness to the unimaginable. The screams of the forgotten echoing through the endless halls, the faint whisper of those who never found peace. Today, its cold, empty corridors hide more than just memories of a tragic past. They say the dead still roam here, their restless spirits forever bound to this monument of misery. Step inside, if you dare, as we unravel the chilling history and supernatural secrets of one of America's most haunted places. Welcome to the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. Construction of the asylum began in 1858, following the Kirkbridge Plan, which emphasized therapeutic design with an abundant sunlight and fresh air. The facility, made from locally sourced blue sandstone, is the largest hand-cut stone masonry building in North America. The original task for the board of directors was buying the plot of land near the West Fork River, which at the time was still considered to be part of the state of Virginia. The Civil War interrupted construction in 1861 due to the secession of Virginia, but the asylum still admitted its first patient in 1864. Although the construction was still attempted to be done during the Civil War, it became harder and harder as the building was used for Confederate and Union soldiers to store the equipment, and much of the building supplies was actually taken by the Confederates. In 1864, the asylum opened its doors to patients, initially designed to house 250 individuals. They continued construction on the remainder of the building, while the first patients were housed in the finished portion. In 1881, construction was fully completed, including a 200-foot central clock tower. This was set to be a self-sufficient location and included a farm, dairy, waterworks, and a cemetery on the property. The asylum that you would think would just be for mentally ill patients was housed for very simple and poor excuses. This included people who had asthma, laziness, egotism, domestic troubles, and even greediness. This led to an alarming amount of patients being checked in to the property. Between the 1930s and the 1950s, the patient population surged, peaking at over 2,600 in the 1950s, leading to severe overcrowding and deteriorating conditions. In 1949, a local paper reported unsanitary conditions for the patients, along with poor lighting, not enough furniture for everyone, and no heat for the patients. This led to a lot of deaths of the patients, and the asylum didn't even keep records of their patients or deaths, so there's no way to know exactly how many people died in the asylum. However, a local historian, Titus Swan, is working to try to figure out what that number is, and states that he believes it's somewhere in the 5-figure range. In the 1950s, the board at the asylum started pushing for the doctors to start performing lobotomies. This was an inhumane surgery that used to quote-unquote heal mental patients. This involved sticking an ice pick-like tool beside the patient's eyeball and up into their brain, severing the frontal lobe. This was said to help the patients, but seemed to be used more as a killing device to help control the overpopulation. During the 1980s, the population had sadly dwindled down to a normal capacity due to the asylum pretty much killing their patients. However, conditions did not get any better. Most patients still there were locked into cages, turning the hospital for curing diseases into a legitimate prison. I guess this actually gave the state an idea when the governor at the time saw the asylum, and he made a statement that the state was going to move the psychiatric ward to another part of the state, and they would use the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum as an actual prison. In 1994, the new ward was built, and the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum shut its doors for good in May of 1994. It did not turn into a prison due to lawsuits of the patients and the victims' families. It sat vacant except for some events, and a lot of the building was damaged due to off-duty cops playing paintball in the building in 1999. The building was used for a museum for a few years, and it was shut down due to fire and code regulations. The building was sold in 2007 to a man named Joe Jordan. Jordan was an asbestos demolition contractor, and he had bought the building for $1.5 million. He began doing a maintenance project and actually saved the building and turned it into a historically haunted place. This building has been investigated by all the paranormal shows and top YouTube channels. Its location was even used in the video game Fallout 76 under the name Fort Defiance. Now, after our history lesson, let's get into the spirits of the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. This asylum is renowned for its paranormal activity, attracting investigators and enthusiasts. The first reported spirit is Lily, a young girl believed to have spent her life in the asylum. She is the most prominent spirit in this location. Visitors reported interactions in her room with toys moving around and the sound of laughter. The story of Lily is assumed due to no records of anything really happening in this location, but they believe that Lily was born in the asylum. It was the only home that she had ever known growing up there and living her short life within this massive building. At the age of 9, Lily contracted pneumonia and passed away shortly after. It makes sense that Lily would still be residing in the asylum to this day, given she never saw beyond the grounds of this evil place. They say her spirit still roams the halls and plays with toys and people who are willing to visit her. Then there's the sad story of Dean. Dean is one of the spirits which was stated to be murdered during his time in the asylum. There were 2 other men named Big Jim and David Mason who bullied Dean and wanted him dead. They reportedly attempted to hang Dean on multiple occasions but were unsuccessful. That was until one day when Big Jim and David caught Dean and forced his head under the bedpost. One of the criminally insane individuals then jumped on the bed and the post went right through Dean's head, killing him instantly. All 3 men were said to be spirits in this location, and unfortunately, Dean seems to not be able to escape his murderers, even in the afterlife. Dean is said to be a quiet spirit, which would follow the story, as it doesn't seem like he ever went for help, or maybe he did, but even if he did, it didn't seem like the asylum was going to do anything for him given the state of the asylum itself. But he seems to run and hide whenever the shadows of Big Jim and David are around. There's also the report that Civil War soldiers are also haunting the asylum. Given the asylum's history during the Civil War, apparitions of soldiers have been reported, possibly linked to the building's occupation during the time. The final spirit we're going to go over is Ruth. Ruth resides on the first floor of the asylum. She was said to be a patient, but part of me wonders if she was actually a nurse. But either way, she was there during the time of the Civil War. Her story seems to be one that I think I can create to make sense. The big thing about Ruth is that she hates men. It is said that she will haunt the men that enter the building and even throw objects at them. I think that given she was there during the Civil War, and she was probably one of the only females the soldiers had seen for who knows how long, they most likely sexually harassed her and made her feel uncomfortable. They could have even sexually assaulted her. This could be the reason why any man that enters the building, she decided she would treat terribly in hopes that they would leave her alone. There are several factors contributing to the asylum's haunted reputation. First is just the traumatic history. The overcrowding, mistreatment, and experimental procedures such as lobotomies likely left a residual imprint of suffering. Then there's the Civil War significance. The asylum's occupation during the Civil War and its strategic importance may have led to the lingering spirits from that era. And finally, there's the patients' deaths. With thousands, possibly tens of thousands of patients passing away within its walls, many under distressing circumstances, it is believed that some spirits still remain unsettled. The Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum stands as a monument to the bygone era of mental health care, with its history etched into its walls. The reported paranormal activity offers a glimpse into the lives of those who once resided there, making a focal point for both historical and supernatural exploration. That is going to do it for today. I hope that you guys did enjoy. If you did, be sure to click that like button, hit that subscribe button. As I said earlier in the video, we are on the road to 50 subscribers by the end of January, so if you can help me out with that, that would mean a lot to me. Let me know what you thought about the video down in the comment section below. Also, let me know other locations that you would like me to do a haunted history video on. But as I said, that will do it for today. Hope you guys did enjoy. As always, thank you for spending a little bit of your day here with me.